Hey guys, it's Chedek, and today we're going to be bringing you the Ridge Amplifier build. So, I'm going to start the Ridge Amplifier off with some footage of the amplifier in action, and then we'll get right back to it. And this is the Ridge Amplifier in action, and obviously I had to build something that was almost AFKable, but please note that this amplifier is not an AFK amplifier. Because of the vertical gameplay that I'm using, there is the incredible slight chance that a flinger can walk through the ramp if it doesn't like walk around, and there is the chance of a blaster getting pushed by a smasher and getting walked into the ramp. If a smasher walks into the ramp, they'll explode, so that'll be fine, but those two are risks, so it's good to play as a zenith to freeze them if they do start pounding on your ramp. 1, 2, 3, and now let's get started with the build. Here is all of the traps, and while the traps are up, let's remove the webcam. So we're going to provide an explanation how the trap tunnel works after I build the trap tunnel. So if you don't care for how the trap tunnel works, just build the tunnel exactly how I show you, and then, you know, move on. Because I feel like if you learn this explanation, you will become a better trap tunneler. And if you learn how this thing works, you will have one of the best trap tunnels in the game without a doubt. It rivals everything in the game, and it's just way too good. So let's get started with the gas. So pretty simple. Start at the bottom of the ramp. Oh wait, no, spawns. So there's a spawn down here, there's a spawn up here, and then there's a spawn up here. So what we've done is we're going to talk about the bottom layer, and then we're going to talk about the top layer. It's like a 2-layered tunnel. So for the gases, what we're going to do is we're going to come down from the middle of the ramp. It's a 3-tile ramp. At the middle of the ramp, you're going to go 1 tile down, 2 tiles to the left, and then you're going to do another 3, and then 1 more tile to the front, and it should be 7 tiles in total of gas trapped above that. That's how you're going to do it above. And you should have all of that with gas. That's what my spawn kill gas is because it's the major spawn, and all of the husks are going to be coming down from here and from over here. We will talk about that block off in a bit. So now that that's done, you're going to connect it with this. So you're going to go up the ramp, place a tile to the left of it, a tile to the right of it, and then you could connect that with your ceiling gases. Now your ceiling gases should be fine. If you put walls down here, they will break because of the spawn, so you have to connect it from up here. Then to the right of that, you're going to add 2 more tiles to block it off. You don't want the husk walking through here. You want the husk walking through the center. Then what you're going to do after that is you're going to put 2 gases on top of these and no gas on top of that and no tile right here. If you put a tile right here and put gas there, us will just walk through here and just go through it. Either way, it's just like, I don't know, just let them fall down. It's more comfortable because then if like, what happens if they decide, oh, I don't want to go through that empty hole. They just want to break this wall, and then you just have like a bigger issue on your hands. So just leave this gap empty. Any husk that spawns up here will fall down into here, and then we're going to talk about that spawn on in a later whatever. And then we're going to move forward, and we have the sound wall on the left to remove propanes from any propane husk, and a floor tile on the bottom, and a wall on the right. Now, before we go on with the tunnel, we're going to talk about the lava bomb manipulation. Is there a tile underneath here? I do not know. No, there is not. Okay, so for the lava bomb manipulation, the lava bomb is now in a 2x2 area. I know in the past I said I don't trust 2x2s, and I still don't, but I use them a lot more now. So for the lava bomb manipulation, starting from this tile, you're gonna go 1 tile south, an empty tile behind this tile. There's nothing in here, an empty tile, and then under this pyramid right here, you're going to be putting a full tile. And to the right of that pyramid, you're going to be putting a floor piece edited with 2 blocks off on like this. And then put a ramp on top and a pyramid on top of there. And then behind these walls, there is 2 ramp pieces. Not 2 ramp pieces, 2 floor pieces behind these sandwiches. On this one too, as you can see if I can just get in here, 2 ramp pieces. And this will situate the lava bomb in this 2x2 area, allowing you to not, you know, suffer dearly. So now back to the tunnel, we have a tar pit here and a 4x wall launcher to launch them all the way back down there. Basically the beginning of recycling. And then we have an edited piece right here to make sure that they all walk and hit this wall launcher. And it's just very nice, very nice. Then we have this area, okay? So I feel at this point we should talk about the sandwiches and the block off up there. So we're going to move on to this part right here. So there's a spawn up here, right? And what we're going to do up here is we're not going to add gases like we did down there. We're going to leave it alone. So now, you're going to come to the ramp area. I'm not good at editing. And you're going to be putting a floor tile, then a pyramid on top, and then a wall in front of it. and then a wall to the left of it, and then if you want a wall to the right of it. I don't think I need it, but I'm gonna leave it for now. I don't think I need it at all, but I'm still gonna leave it. And then beneath that, you're gonna have a sandwich, a full sandwich with the pyramid facing the northeast, and then another full sandwich behind that one with the pyramid facing to the northeast. Then you're going to move on to this part. Now, this part is quite important. So you can, if you put a wall launcher here, they will break. Simple as that. There's no way to stop it. They will break it. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna leave it open, and then they'll just, some husk will walk down here and some husk will walk down here. The majority of the husks that spawn up here in this miner spawn will fall down here, so you don't need a lot of traps on this side. What I've done though is a floor tile with a 4x wall launcher to send them all the way down there. If they make it through that, wooden floor spikes with a 4x wall launcher to send them back over there. Ceiling gas on the first one, nothing on the second one. 2 tiles here to just, you know, keep it going because there's something under this. Tile here, I'd recommend putting a tile there, but I don't know because I've never had a flinger problem, but straight up you should have a flinger problem from here, so I recommend putting a tile here. I'm going to not, but if I suffer on wave 22, that's my problem because I forgot to put a wall there. I'm putting a wall there. So we're gonna, and then you move on to the next tile, wall launcher, tar pit, seething gas on top, and then that recycles them into that pit of the lava bomb, and you'll be fine. And I didn't put anything here because nothing makes it here on wave 2. However, on wave 22, things might make it down there or make it over here, so maybe add a wall launchers to these 4x's and tar pits down here, or like wooden floor spikes, whatever you feel is important. And then we move on. So we're not going to touch on that part yet. We're going to touch over here. So behind this wall launcher, we have the empty tile with a pyramid facing the northwest, and then we have this thing. Now, cut me some credit, guys. I've been working so hard on vertical gameplay, and I finally got it. It works. So, vertical gameplay was a problem because smashers, in their almighty wisdom and Epic Games refusing to address the problem, walked through ramps. They walk through these, so you can't use ramps in your build unless you do it in a certain way. Now, I finally figured out the code. I finally did it, and I broke it. I got it. So what you're going to do is you're going to start with the 2 tiles underneath there, one unedited and one edited, and then you're going to move on with a triangle piece right here. It's a wall faced in a triangle, and then you're going to edit the ramp like that so it connects with the triangle piece and the ramp. 2 walls on the left and behind it so they don't walk through, and then a ramp. Now, under the ramp, there's this edited piece. That is for smasher protection. And then there's a wall to the west of it, so the smashers and stuff don't walk to the west and just walk right through there. Well, they won't anyways because this is the shorter path. And then there's a wall in front of it to block it, and then 2 wall launchers behind it. Now, the reason why these wall launchers are behind it and in front of it is because if smashers aggro on these wall launchers, that means that smasher is going to walk through the ramp. Its AI has changed to something drastic, and it's going to do some crazy things because technically this is a block off. So if you ever see a smasher attacking this wall, it's going to, once it breaks through it, it's going to walk through the ramp, and then it's going to break your whole tunnel. Now, the reason why the wall launcher is there is because if this wall launcher, if these 2 wall launchers recycle the smasher and turn it, it just pushes it back, the AI will reset and the smasher will walk through this again. Smashers have buggy AI, and I don't know how they work. I'm not a game coder. I'm just a gamer who's trying to break everything. And when these recycle them, it works. The tunnel works as normally. And smashers should not walk through this ramp. If they do walk through this ramp, the best thing about it is because of this sandwich and how it works, it squishes them and they literally explode. I'll show you footage right now if I can find some, if I can grab some, and it's just wonderful. Now they'll walk through here, and once they get up to here, they will not walk through here and hit this tile only. They'll walk across the ramp and into the first tile. So basically, I get full usage of all these traps. The tar pit gets activated by the smashers. Wall launcher 4x sends them back out. Sealing gas right here to damage them. Sealing gas over here on top of these. I do recommend putting sealing electric fields here because they'll get more usage than the sealing gases. They'll do more damage. Oh, and over there on top of this tunnel right here, on top of this tar, two sealing electric fields, simply because they just reach 2 tiles down and they reach in a 3x3 radius, which is hawk. Now, we move on. It's the same thing. Tar pit, wall launcher, sealing gas. Tar pit, wall launcher, sealing gas. Tar pit, wall launcher, sealing gas to recycle them all the way down there. And these wall launchers will recycle down there. This wall launcher will recycle them as far as to there, and this wall launcher has the potential to recycle them all the way down there, which is crazy. Then there's this one, which can recycle them all the way down there, which, Jesus Christ, man, that's crazy. And then a tile here, so that it makes sure that the husks walk onto this wall launcher. This tile is actually new. In the footage you saw earlier, I did not use this tile, and I did not use this wall right here. There was no flinger problems, and it was fine. And now let's keep going. Empty tile, ceiling gas on top, nothing on the right. And another tile in front of you, tar pit, wall launcher to recycle them down there. Most of the time, it will not. They'll probably hit that. That's fine. Nothing on this wall. It's probably just to lower the impact guard anyways. And then 3 floor launchers to deal the damage, to just straight through the fucking 98% damage. If anything makes it through this, these wall launchers will definitely finish them off. And then behind this there is a pyramid with no floor underneath it. And then let's talk about the block off. So for the amplifier, I have a floor piece, and everything around it is with ramps and stuff to aggro the husks down here. I did not have this in the video. This is brand new. I actually had it flipped, which is odd. And now let's talk about the block off. So the block off is kind of important. Behind this tile right here, behind these 2 wall launchers, there's going to be unedited floor tiles at the bottom of this. Ramps facing the northwest, and then it's a full sandwich. Same here. Unedited floor tile underneath it. Bet you can't see it. I can't see it either. Unedited floor tile, but tier 3, and then a ramp facing the northwest. And behind that, same thing, but with edited floor pieces, with 2 of the bottom, with the 2 of the south pieces edited, so it's an extra layer of block off on the ramp, same to it, next to it. And then another block off here that does nothing. I think it's possible to remove this one, and it's just a northwest facing ramp with 2 walls and an unedited floor tile underneath it. Oh, and by the way, there's no wall behind this, believe it or not. I probably should put it, but I'm afraid to test it like that. So if any of you want to try that and a smasher walks through, then I mean it might actually cause more block off. So I'm gonna do another test anyways. I'm actually gonna start testing that thoroughly and all the new tiny adjustments that I did. It's best to change one thing at a time when you're testing your tunnels. If you change everything drastically, everything will just go wrong. So I like to do small changes and small tests and be very slow paced when I'm building my tunnels. So now when you come on top of the tunnel, you should have something like this. It should just feel like this, look like this, pretty covered on top. And then you come to the south side, you'll put 2 walls down and 2 ramps on top. That is for flinger protection, and it will recycle it will make sure that nothing flings. Now let's move on to the east side block off. The east side block off is pretty important in my opinion. It's basically, when you come here, it's a tiny lava bomb shift. It's a half tile lava bomb shift. Believe it or not, you can do that. It's a half tile lava bomb shift, so the lava bomb is as close as possible, and these 4 tiles are as close as possible as to the tendrils they can be. So what you're going to do is you're going to be putting edited floor pieces like this. This will allow the wall launchers to still be used, but it will also block them off, and they will have to walk through there. Now, once you put that, you put the wall launchers, you put the metal walls, you go on top of it, 2 metal floors, you go on in front of that, 2 metal walls, go on top of that, 2 metal floors, and then 2 metal walls to finish it off, and to cap it off, 2 metal walls on the left and the right. This is at the apex of it, the top, when the ramp is all covered, and then 2 more walls here to block it off, and then 2 walls there and 2 walls there to block them off, because you do not want them coming into your storm shield freaking north, and you don't want them coming up to your devil east. It's just a ton of cheap block off that works perfected. Like, I use this block off for the clear, so I vouch for it heavily. And yeah, that's pretty much about it. So thank you guys for watching. Now let's move on to the outro. Alright guys, that's about it for this video. So before we move on, I want to talk about 2 little key factors that I will ask you to do with your Ridge amplifier while Pit's playing in the background. So what I recommend is, behind these 2 wall launchers, I recommend putting wall spikes, because smashers will attack these walls eventually. And one more thing, every single trap in this video in terms of wall launchers are all 4Xs. I didn't mention that, but I showed you 2 types of wall launchers and stuff. All of them are 4Xs. I hope that doesn't bug you. And the sound wall build is like how I have it in my video. Full durability, reload speed, and effect duration. It's only to drop propane. It's nothing, anything special. My arm hurt. And yeah, that's about it. So we have Pit amplifier nest. I need to increase the block off and do some further testing on higher waves before I upload that. Or Vocaloid Neon's Wamp Amp. Now, I have to vouch for this amplifier. It's insane. He worked together with a lot of people in the Loras community, and when I saw this amplifier, I was like, I can't beat that. I cannot make a better tunnel than that. So I asked him for permission to upload it, and he said it's cool. So it's up to you guys. Would you like to see Vocaloid Neon's Wamp Amp or my pit amplifier? I like my pit amplifier, honestly. Or Storm Shield North. Real quick, guys, I'm going to mention Storm Shield North is getting some tweaks. I'm trying to do what I did with Ridge on Storm Shield North, and it's working. But I'm still working out some of the kinks. As you can see, this wall got attacked, and they barely made it here. Only one usage. I was trying to see if I could put a wall launcher here. Obviously, that doesn't work. And I guess this is just me rambling on. Like, a lot of damage is happening to the amplifier, and I'm not a little happy with that. So I need to keep working on it. And once it's ready, it'll be ready. But for now, it's kind of pee-pee boo-boo. And yeah. Thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Either today, well, either tomorrow or on Monday. And hope you don't get angry at that. I have a life too. And toodles.